Hello everybody, Heath the Vlogger Guy here. It is December 7th. It is time for the 7th reading of the Christmas stories. And I do hope everybody has been enjoying these. Those of you who have viewed my videos. I'm going to make a solid attempt to read this. I'm not doing the best in the world tonight, but I am going to make an attempt. And tonight's book is called Home for Christmas. So here we go. Rollo was a wild troll. A very wild troll, always racing off, his scruffy troll tail bouncing around behind him. Troll tails will drop off one day, but only if the troll is kind. Hopefully, and does his choice. Roloff's little sister has lost hers long ago, but Rolla doesn't care one bit. He just did whatever he wanted. Roloff never made his bed for his mama troll. He never chopped wood for Papa Troll. He never helped little sister collect eggs. One morning, when they all asked him for help, Roland had had enough. No, no, no! He whooped and grabbed his wrench sack, leaped over their heads, and ran towards his mount. Mama Troll looked at Papa Troll and shook her head sadly. The chances of Roland losing his tail are mighty slim, she said. Roland walked along, getting hungry and tired. Where would he spend the night? He spied an old owl nest in a tree. Hurrah! Roland shouted. It's up this tree for me. He climbed up and snuggled down among the owlets as Mother Owl looked on. When the little birds opened their mouths wide, Roland opened his too. Yum, free food, he thought. Sleeping and full, he dozed off, tucking his under Mother Owl warm fluffy feathers. No bed to be made here, he mumbled. But this lazy life didn't last long. The owlets grew fast, and the nest grew crowded. They spent hours flapping their wings until the day came from the owlets to fly. Mother Owl glared at Rollo, but he didn't move, so she bumped him out of the nest. Can't you see I don't have wings? Roland screeched. Roland shook the feathers out of his hair and strolled through the forest, leaping and chasing field mice as he went. He didn't he hadn't gone far when he spotted a mother bear watching her two cubs, rolling around and roughhousing in the grass. Roland dove in, cuffing the cubs and tickling their noses. Mother Bear didn't care. Now she had three naughty creatures to watch over instead of two. That night, Roland followed the bears to their mossy cave and fell asleep curled up with the bear cubs, mumbling, "No wood to cut here." As the day passed, it got harder for Roland to keep up with the bears. They had tough paws and sharp claws to help them scramble over rocks and climb trees to look for food. Then at the end of summer, Mother Bear spotted a hive. She opened it up with her big swap of her paw and devoured honey gushing out. It had been a long time since Roland had tasted anything as sweet. He shoved the baby bear aside. Big mistake. Angry bees aimed their stingers at him. Roland threw himself into a nearby pool and dove under the water. Roland floated up and tasted the honey still in his mouth. "Oh, I wish I had some of little sister's sweet nosy print cookies," he thought. "Maybe I should go home." But he saw a gang of other otters playing in the waterfall. "Wait for me," he cried as he scrambled out, threw off his wet clothes and dove in and slowed down the waterfall. "This is the life for me." One morning, Roland awoke to find a thin skim of ice on the pool. Others didn't give it any mind, but Roland couldn't stop shivering. He put on his clothes, stuffed his boots with moss, and waved goodbye and went on his way. It was snowing when Roland met up with a new friend who was as wild as he was. Lynx liked to play, pounce, and hide and seek. So did Roland. While they were romping in the snow, little sister was at home feeding his hedgehogs. "Roland may be gone for now," she said, "but we miss him every day." It got colder and colder, and limb berries froze, and food was hard to find. One afternoon, Roland felt Lynx's eyes staring at him in a hungry way. It was time to move on. The drifts got deeper. Roland's nose was turning blue when he noticed moose tracks, big and little. He followed them up the mountain to a meadow where he saw Father Moose, Mother Moose, and their calves standing in the snow. "Hero!" he cried as he pounced over them. Roland made friends right away. He found berries and lit under the snow where Father Moose had scraped away the ice with his hoof. He ate and ate while the moose calves drank some warm milk from Mother Moose. Roland spent the night with the Moose family. The next morning he was so happy to be with them that he jumped up excitedly to give a big hug to Mother Moose, just the way his mother hugged him at home. But Mother Moose was not used to a cold, pointy nose pushing into her soft, warm nose. She tossed her head, and galloped off, leaving Roland sprawled in the snow. That night, Roland was riding along on Father Moose's antlers when the antlers began to sway. "Oh no!" Roland shouted, holding on tight. Winter is when mooses shed their antlers, and he found himself tumbling down, landing in snowdrifts. He was brushing snow out of his eyes when he smelt the smoke from a wood fire. "It's coming from my house." He imagined a warm fire inside, good food, and a soft bed. Most of all, he remembered Mama and Papa's big hugs, and little sister laughing at his jokes. He began to sniffle and cry. Roland's sobs got louder, and the antler began to rock back and forth on the slippery snow. It started sliding down the mountain faster and faster, bouncing over ice boulders and skimming across frozen rivers. It was the antler toboggan. Roland spotted his little house down in the valley, and his sobs turned into whoops of joy. Roland's family was on their way home with their Christmas tree when they heard whoops echoing down the mountain. They knew in an instant that Roland had come home. They rushed to meet him as fast as they could. On Christmas Eve, the Troll family gathered to light the holy candle. Mama, Papa, and little sister looked around proudly as the beds Roland had made, the wood he had chopped, and the cookies little sister had baked with the eggs they had gathered. Papa Troll grinned as Roland leaned forward to light the candle. "Have you lost something, Roland?" he asked. Roland just smiled. "I'm home for Christmas," he caroled. "For the best Christmas ever," little sister sang. The cat just purred. He had a new toy. After the feast, the Troll family sat by the fire, home for Christmas all together, singing and telling stories far into the night. I hope you all enjoyed. It was a really nice story. But until we see each other again, bye-bye.